So I've been wondering about the perceived beauty in our world, in our society, and how someone takes that in and what mechanisms in the body, like biological or not, or learned, I suppose, um, within the body tells the brain that that is beauty. Like you take information, you take in an image, and then through certain processes, I'm assuming, uh, that information makes it to your brain through your eyes, or if it's visual, then it through your eyes, and then it's comes, you come to the conclusion, your brain comes to the conclusion that that is beauty. Like what is there like magical? There's got to be more than one sort of like equation for that type of thing, or like I just have been thinking like what makes something beauty, or what, and there's got to be a million plus different answers for that question, like, or maybe, and it's about perspective. Like no one's going to, I mean, as humans, I think that we have probably a lot of overlaps, especially within our own kind, of what makes a person beautiful. And that is just a whole subject in itself, because I don't know. You can see it, I think it's also about openness. Like how open are you to an object's beauty, or to a person's beauty, or to a piece of music's beauty. Like it's about how, like, let's say you only like one specific song. Like there's only one song that you find beautiful. That could be you could have a very restricted definition of the word beautiful, and you could also just, or maybe your mind is just closed off to any other song, and because you love that song so much, that is the only song you could find truly beautiful. So beautiful, beautiful, saying it weird. um I don't know, it's just something I've been thinking about, because it's like I often look at myself and think gross, like looking in the mirror and things like that, and I'm always like when my girlfriend calls me cute or handsome, I'm like, my first gut reaction is like, what? So it's all it's all very interesting, and like I think some people who are the societal agreed upon version of beauty, there are a lot of them, or maybe just some of them, have accepted that they are beautiful, and they just go through that. But I think a lot of them don't accept it, and they're like, yeah, you think I'm beautiful, but I hate the way I look, or I don't think I look that good, or whatever. It's just, there's so many possibilities in life. And I've been thinking, there was I'm looking around my house, like thinking of all the things I should be cleaning, and uh, I was thinking, I read something. I'm reading a book by Victor Wooten, the bass player, and there was a part where it's talked about how if you're just playing the right notes in life, eventually they're going to start to sound wrong, because it's like they're too right. You're playing too much in that key. Say like you're playing in the key of D, you're playing too much of those notes. You got those. If it's D major, you got those two accidentals, those two sharps, and if you're just playing those notes only, eventually it's just gonna sound. And I think it's our minds saying, this is too boring, it's too right, I need some variety, I need, like, catch me off guard, surprise me, like add some diversity in there. So yeah, and it's just, there's so many parallels to this idea in life if you only play the right notes. Like if you're just, I don't know. Like I think that I played the right notes all throughout my life. I went to school, got straight A's for like forever, like all through high school, middle school. I think I got like 1B in grade school, like in I don't remember even what grade it was. So And in college, like the first year I got straight A's and I was in a really tough program. And then I was just like, oh, screw this. I'm so tired of working my butt off and I'm exhausted and burnt out. And like, I'm just trying to like mold to what everybody wants me to be. And I just like, was just like, screw it. I'm going to have fun. And I had fun, broke away and whatnot. And yeah, it was, yeah. So I started, I think that was the time in my life where I started personally tampering with the wrong keys of my own life. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just sick of it. I'm trying to like break away from that. And like I always worry about weird stuff, like as a man in our society, I don't want to say things that could, and this is dumb, like I don't want to say things that could make me sound like too much of a what's is the politically correct term, uh homosexual. Like I don't want to sound, I used to not want to sound like that. And like why and why do homosexuals have to sound a certain way? It's all so stupid. Like, oh, I should just talk like this and like, try to be the manly man. And like that's craziness, I don't want to just do what society wants me to do to like appease everybody else, because I don't think that doing that is even perceived as beauty. Not that it's important to be perceived as beautiful, but I'd rather just, hit the wrong notes. Because once you're okay with landing on wrong notes every once in a while in life and in music, that's going to direct you to something that sounds a little bit better. And the more you hit those wrong notes, like the cooler they sound. So yeah, I just love that notion. It's like I was just playing the piano a second ago and I just relaxed and played. Like I knew the direction of the key, the key changes and stuff like that, and eventually I would get to those key changes. But I was just like, maybe I'll lead up to it with a few, little chromatic runs instead or whatever. Just like, yeah, just relaxed. And I was okay. Like the wrong notes were just, it's almost like if I had the timing in an interesting way, that the wrong notes were just fine. And it, I don't know, it still felt like every note was intentional but existed, not because I was like forcing them out. Like they were almost intentional on their own. And I don't know, this has been a lot of information, so hopefully some part of this made sense, or maybe it's good that it didn't make sense. Boom.